How to be an atheist. George Mike. Chapter 1. A or need to be beginners. In England, everything is different. You must understand that young people say England. They times mean Great Britain. England is Scotland and usually sometimes the United Kingdom, Inglaterra, Scotland, US, and Northern Ireland. Sometimes the Britain are England, Scotland, US, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland, but never just England. On Sunday in Europe, the poorest person wears his best clothes and the life of the country became happy, bright and colorful. On Sundays in England, the richest people wear their old days clothes and the country becomes dark and sad. In Europe, nobody talks about the other. In England, you have to say nice day isn't it about 200 times every day, or people think you are a bit boring. In Europe, you had Sunday newspapers on Monday. In England, a strange country, you had Sunday newspapers on Sunday. On a European bus, the driver using the bell if he owns to drive on bus is best stop. Use the stopping in grants, you use the bell when you want to bus to stop. In Europe, people like their cats, but in England, they love their cats more than their family. In Europe, people eat good food. In England, people think that good manners at the table are more important than the food you used to eat. The English eat bad food, but they say it tastes good. In Europe, important people speak louder and clearer. In English, they learn to speak in slow and country so you can understand them. In Europe, clever people show that they are clever by talking about Aristotle, Horace, and Montaigne. In English, only stupid people try to show how clever they are. The only people who talk about Latin and Greek writing are those who have not read them. In Europe, almost every country, big or small, face around to show they are the best. The English follow helps those people who think they are the best. The English already know our country is really the best. European cray and greedy, head angry, and stand of these English just last countering at their problem. In Europe, people are either honest howdy you or they last to you. In English, people are almost never lie, but they are almost never quite honest. You other. Many Europeans think that love is a game. The English think cricket is a crane. Chapter 2. Introducing people. This part of the book tells you how to introduce people to other people. Most importantly, you introduce strangers. Do not say their names so that the other person is able to hear it. Usually, this is not a problem because nobody can understand her. Assessing if somebody introduces you to a stranger, and there are two important rules to follow. One, if he puts out his hand to shake yours, do not take it. Smile and you it when he stops. Trying to shake your hand, try to shake his. Repeating this, granting all of the room, or even how possible this use be the most amongst part of your afternoon or evening. 2. The introductions are finished and your new friend asks you are you. How did you do? But to know friends, he does not really want to know. To him it does not matter if you are you or if you are dying of a terrible illness. Do not answer. Lord conversation will be like this. He, how do you do? You, Cowie, good health, no sleeping, very ill. Left foot, here is a being, one of two stomach problem. A conservation like This is an English and forgivable you make something. Never say please to me too. English people think this is very rude and young understand. Do not call foreign laws, teachers, doctor, dentists, or spokesperson. Doctor, everybody knows that the little of doctor means that you are a central. European, it is now a cool thing to be a Central European English. So I don't know. All people to remember. Chapter 3. The Other. This is the most important subject in the land. In how Europe people say he is the type of person who talk about the other. To show that somebody is very boring in England. The other is always uninteresting, a cackling subject, and you must be good at talking about it. Chapter 4. Examples for conversation. Nice day, isn't it? Isn't it beautiful? The sun, it wonderful? Les, you was the fool, isn't it? It's so nice and hot. I think it's so nice. Oh, and it's hot, isn't it? I really love it, don't you? Terrible day I think it unpleasant. The rain, I don't like the rain. Yeah, I think a day like this in July, it rains in the morning, then a bit of sun and then rain all day. I remember the same July day in 1936. Less I remember too. Or yours in 1928. Less it out. Or in 1939. Let's, that's right. Now look at the last few sentences of this conversation. You can see a very important rule. You must always agree with other people. When you talk about the other, if it is raining and sorry and the you is knocking down trees and someone says a nice day isn't it and say immediately I think it beautiful. Learn this conversation back hard. You can use them again in a way if you repeat the conversation every day for the rest of your life. It is possible that people you think you are clever, polite, and amusing listen to the other report on the radio and you have to hide different other report for different people. There is always a different report for farmers. For example, you high tomorrow is a be cloudy and cold. There will be a lot of rain. Then immediately after this, you hear other report for Marcus. It will be rain and orange, and there will be a lot of sunshine. Farmers, though important, also for the country is to the need better either. You see often the radio tells you that is a nice day, but then you look outside and say that it is raining or it's cool. Sometimes the radio says it is a rainy day and you see that the sun is shining brightly. This is not because the other people have made a mistake. It is because they have reported the right order as they own it to be. But in some translation, either from under part of the European News in Auckland, Britain, and changes the outer picture. Everything you has to make and foreign you things are not looking very good. Chapter 5. So knockout is singing out to mean. For instance, have so the English do not have so in Europe of find many people who look sad. This is so the oldest kind of soul belong to the sex people. Serfs are usual very deep singer. They say sing like this and something I am so happy and sometimes I am so sad. Can you explain out? I can explain do not try. Or perhaps they say I want to be in some other place, not I. Do not say I like you to be in some other place too. All this is very deep. It is all just so. But the English have no soul. Instead they say less than the meaning. For example, if a European bow about to tell a grand that he loves her, he calls down on his knees and tells her she is the enchantest, most beautiful and wonderful person in the world. She has something in her, something special, and the content leave out more meaning you and her. In Europe, you find many people who look sad. This is so. Sometimes they make all this quite clear at his use himself. This happens every the European countries. Your people have sold. In England, the boy puts his hands on the girl's shoulder and says, "One and lead, you alright now." If he really forced her hasten, I really one leg to you. In fact, if he hands the Mary a girl, he has, I say you. If he enters to ship her, I say, shall you? Chapter 6 Tea. Tea was one I could drink with lemon and sugar. It's delicious, very pleasant. But then the reason they signed to put quack milk and now sugar into it. They made it colorless and tasteless. In the hands of the English, they bring an unpleasant drink like dirty water. But they still call it tea. Tea is the most important drink in Great Britain and England. You must never say, I do not want a cup of tea. Other people will think you are very stand and very foreign in an English home. You had a cup of tea of heart of faith o'clock in the morning when you are still ready to ship. If your friend brings you a cup of tea and you wake from your skin morning sip, you must not say, I think you are monks and kind to wake me up and I like to show you. You must smile your best 5 o'clock smile and say, thank you so much. I do love a cup of tea and this time of the morning. When your friend listen to room, you can saw the tea down the doctor that you have the full breast cut. You have the tea at 11 come in the morning. Then after lunch, then you have tea and tea time about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then after supper and again at 11. Go at night. You must be the most happy of the garden and hot if it comes. If you are trying, if any brandy, see you are trying. After, before you go out, if you are out, if you have just written home, if you want a cup, if you don't want a cup, if you have not had a cup for some time, if you have just had a cup, you must not follow my exam. I sip, I find acro and more. I have coffee for breakfast. I drink black coffee agni during the day. I drink extremes and unusual cheese with no milk. At the same time, I have these 5 foreign years and my poor wife, who has one I go English woman. Now just these two are sorry to say. Chapter 7 6. European men and women have sex legs. English men and women have hot water bottles. Chapter 8 The Language. When I arrived in Inglaterra, I saw that I knew English. After I did hear and word, I realized I did not understand one word. In my first week, I learned a lot of the language. But after 7 years, I knew that I could never use it. Really kept the sad. But nobody speak English perfectly. Remember that those heavy handers work the ordinary Englishmen using most are not all the words in the language. You can learn another 500 and under 5 soundside and another 50 soundside where after the end you will sleep in. Under 15, some sounds you have never heard of them. If you live in England for a long time, will be very surprised to find that the word sign is not the only exercise in the English language. For the first 3 years, do you know that too? Let I use any order exercise you can say that the weather is nice at restaurant. Is nice, Mr. Sawan. Sounds is nice, Mrs. Sawan. So, cows are nice to have a nice time and all this will be very nice. To must daisy after your ask you will and have you foreign asker. Alright, but many people like to make it with under accent. I knew a policy you had to a strong this artistic accent. People saw he was very interesting. The easy way to show that you have a good accent. Oh no, foreign accent is to how a pipe or a singular in your mouth to speak the shoe you sing and fish or your sentences when you can't and sing it. People will not understand you, but I will think that you probably speak very good English. Everything I learned for the CU in this last level. Unit 1 set to and comparison. First we learn we used to talk about past habit or questions that are long true. Affirmative structure subject more used to more verb. Example, I used to play soccer. Negative structure subject more didn't used to more verb. Example, I didn't used to like vegetable. Interrogative structure did more subject more I used to more verbs. Uh, in interrogative um, example, the use used to live here. Unity 2, present perfect or present perfect continuous. The present perfect is used for experience of stuff that are contrary to the present. Affirmative, struck, subject, have, has, more past participle. Example, I have is in Quito. Negative, struck, subject, uh, more have, having or hasn't, more past participle. Example, she hasn't finished her homework. Interrogative, struck, have or has, more subject, more past participle. Interrogative. Example, I used in that movie. The present perfect continuous is used for actions that started in the past and continue now. Affirmative is true. Subject more have has more being more verbing. Example, I have been standing for the award. Negative is true. Subject more haven't or hasn't more being more verbing. Example, she hasn't been explained you. Interrogative. Structure have has more subject must be more verb in him. Example, have you been where all the day? Unity try models. In this unit, we learn about necessity, provision, and permission. For necessity, have to external obligation. Example, I have to wear a uniform. Then two, necessity. Example, you need to study more. Must, strong obligation. Example, I must receive or parent. For provision, can. Example, I can park here. Or must know. Example, I must not cheat in exam. For permission, may. Example, may and enter call. Example, call I borrow your pen. Unity 4. Passive voice. We assign to passive voice in the present and past. The simple present passive strike is structure, subject, more I am, is, are, and more present participle. Example, activity. People make a paper from wood. Passive, a paper is made from wood. The simple past, punch, standing is, struck, subject, more was aware, more past participle. Example, active. Someone built this house in my 19. Passive, this house was built in 1990. Unit 5, second conditional. The second conditional is used for hypothetical or angry question in the present or future. It's true if more passive, good, more base verb. Example, affirmative. If I had more time, I could travel. Example, negative. If I didn't stand it. I won the pass. Example question. If you won the lottery, what would I do? Unit 6. Report speech. Finally, we say report page with easier to repeat what a sound said. Example, present simple and present simple. Past simple. Direct, I love sport. Report, he said he loved sport. Present continuous, past continuous. Direct, I am standing. Report, she said she was standing. Present perfect, past perfect. Direct, I have finished. Report, he said he that finished. Future will be good. Direct, I will call you. Report, she said she would call me. Be going to was we're going to. Direct, I am going to travel. Report, I say he was going to travel.